Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. So I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. The podcast, the flock rundown. Ravens, baby. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
Appreciate you, Ray. What's up, Ravens fans? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of the Flock Rundown. John Harbaugh just finished his press conference where he gave updates on all the injured players from yesterday's game. Let's roll the clip.
Have any updates on Marcus Williams, Ryan Stanley, and Tyler Linderbaum?
I do. Again, I just confirmed J.K. is going to have the Achilles surgery to repair that, and he texted me last night after we texted back and forth and told me not to worry. He'll be back better and stronger than before. So his spirits will be good. Marcus has a pec injury. He's consulting with the doctors right now. He'll be out for a while. It may not be a season ender, though. There's different options that he has, so we'll keep you updated on that. And then it's soon, because he'll have to make a decision soon on a possible surgery there. Tyler has an ankle sprain, so I'd say week to week right now. He may be out for this game. Ronnie has a knee sprain. So again, that'll be kind of similar to Tyler right now, so we'll see where those guys are at, but they could be out this game. And we'll be counting on the guys, if they are out, to step up and play. Was there another one? Is that everybody? Any other injury questions while we're at it? While I'm on a roll?
I guess while we're on a roll. Marlon Humphrey have a shot?
Marlon has a shot. Yeah, thanks, Jeff. He's got a shot, but it depends. You know, it's pretty early in the process, but it's possible. So we'll see.
Mark.
Same thing. Mark looks good. You know, we'll see how he does. Though I would refer those to the practice, to the report. Probably is going to be your best indicator.
Rough, man. It's rough. It's not really what I wanted to hear, especially with Marcus Williams. Obviously, we knew J.K. Dobbins tore his Achilles, and he's going to be out for the season. It was nice to hear that J.K. Dobbins texted John Harbaugh. He seems to be in good spirits. Texted him, said he'd be back better than ever. If he sets his mind to it and goes through this grueling rehab process again and really wants to come back, I feel like he could play in the NFL again for sure. Will he be prime J.K. Dobbins? I'm not sure, man. That's a long, long road to recovery, and I just feel terrible for him, man. J.K.'s such a good dude, and he's so talented. When he's out there on the field, he's dynamic. Look at the impact he had early in the game yesterday before he got hurt. J.K. Dobbins is a star. He just can't stay on the field. It's just unfortunate. It happens to some guys and just sucks, man. This injury news sucks. We've been dealing with this for 3 years now, you know? It's just like, can we stay healthy a little bit? Obviously, you're going to lose a guy here and there. You're going to get banged up here and there, but just nonstop injuries to key players. I know it's a part of the sport, and obviously the physicality of the game is a big reason we all love it. The level of competition that it brings out of people and the fire that it brings out of people is what we're attracted to as fans. You know, it's part of the entertainment, but these guys are literally risking their human bodies, their physical bodies. And there was a lot of injuries across the league yesterday, but man, it just feels like the Ravens are getting hammered year after year. We just can't roll out a healthy squad. Marcus Williams has a pec injury. Harbaugh did not sound confident in that press conference. He said he'd be out for a while, and there's a chance that it's not a season-ending injury, but he's still consulting with the doctors whether he should get surgery or not. He tried to play through the injury, which is crazy. Even made a couple plays after he had already maybe torn the pec. I'm not sure if it's a tear yet, but he's out there laying his body on the line trying to play through this injury, but realized that it just didn't feel right. And obviously he has a serious injury. You know, I'm not sure if the pec's completely torn. He didn't give specifics of the injury. He's still talking with the doctors, but regardless, it's the majority of this season again. We can confidently say that. If he does come back, it would be later in the season, which literally happened last year. It's just terrible, man. Marcus Williams completely healthy his entire career, and then he comes to Baltimore And it's 2 major injuries, and he's out for the majority of the regular season, if not the entire regular season. And I don't want to be doom and gloom, but this sucks, man. We can't lose Marcus Williams. Geno Stone and Darryl Worley are going to have to step up, but it ain't the same. I think they can hold the fort down and play their role well, but they're not the ball-hawking, playmaking safety that Marcus Williams is. Marcus Williams is always around the ball. He gets a lot of turnovers. He makes the right reads. They don't bring that same playmaking ability. I mean, I'm not hating on Geno Stone or Darryl Worley, but the reason Marcus Williams is Marcus Williams and the reason he's paid like a top safety in the NFL is because he's a ball hawk safety. He's a playmaking safety, and we need that. We need those turnovers. And it's just a huge loss. I'm expecting to go through most of this season without him, so we're going to have to adjust, you know what I mean? Guys are going to have to step up. And Harbaugh didn't sound confident to me about Marlon Humphrey returning this week either. I know Marlon Humphrey should be back soon, but Harbaugh said there's a chance he comes back this week, but it would be early in the process. So, I mean, unless there's a miracle and he's way ahead of schedule, he's not playing against the Bengals. That's what I took from that press conference. Maybe you guys took something different, but I took that Marlon's going to be out a few more weeks. And that sucks too, you know what I mean? We're rolling into a pissed off Bengals team. They had a terrible performance. They're loaded on offense, obviously, and we're limping in there on defense. And I trust our run D, I trust our linebackers, our defensive line, trust Kyle Hamilton, and I trust Geno Stone and Darryl Worley, like I said, to play their role and not make a ton of mistakes, but they just don't take the same kind of chances that a guy like Marcus Williams would take, And then at cornerback, I mean, missing Marlon Humphrey is going to be noticeable, way more noticeable than it was against the Texans. The Texans don't have the Bengals receiving core. It's not even close. And C.J. Stroud is not Joe Burrow. I don't care what kind of game Joe Burrow had against the Browns this week. He's going to look better. I'm not saying he's going to light us up for sure, but I'm not confident. I'm not confident that we can slow the Bengals down very much, especially their pass game. So it seems like for us to beat the Bengals this week, our offense is going to have to score some points. Now, we can score some points. Our offense should be better than we saw last week. That was their first game together. I'm expecting improvement across the board from everybody. From Todd Monken's play calling to Lamar taking care of the ball, to the receivers, to the running game, to the blocking, to the offensive line. Speaking of the offensive line, we're not going to have Ronnie Stanley or Tyler Linderbaum. Harbaugh said week to week, Ronnie Stanley's got a knee sprain, Tyler Linderbaum's got an ankle sprain, and they are week to week, which tells me they're not playing against the Bengals this week. So we're probably going to go Patrick McCarry at left tackle and then Sam Mustipher at center. And I am just praying that there's no mishandled snaps, you know what I mean? That's we've had backup centers come in before, and I've gotten PTSD from snapping the ball over Lamar's head, and I mean, that'll just ruin a game, you know what I mean? Whether we turn the ball over or not, it just ends drives. It could be 2nd and 8, you snap the ball over the head, now it's 3rd and 18, it just ends drives, and I'm not saying Sam Mustipher's going to do that. I don't wish that on him. I just have a little PTSD from backup centers coming in before. We've been trusting Tyler Linderbaum. We drafted Tyler Linderbaum to be the staple center for us, and he still is, but he's going to be out for a few weeks. Ronnie Stanley's going to be out for a few weeks. Patrick McCarry's solid, though, and I think we'll probably do a lot of what we did in the second half against the Texans game, where we bring in Patrick Ricard to the offensive line as an extra blocker just to help with that pass rush. So I think that we can manage at offensive line for the next few weeks. I don't think that decimates our offense. Is it ideal? Hell no. It's not ideal at all. I mean, I would love a healthy offense to be out there, but that's not going to happen. So we're going to have to adjust. And like I said, this week I think that our offense is going to have to score some serious points, because I just do not trust the secondary against the Bengals receiving core. They got stomped by the Browns. They played terrible. I know they're going to rebound, and we just don't have the corners that match up well against that receiving core. And then, we were relying on some safety help, but now Marcus Williams is gone, so it's not ideal. It's not ideal at all. I think our run defense is going to be great. I love what I saw from our pass rush of Dafe Owe, David Ajabo, Jadeveon Clowney. Really putting pressure. We were bringing smart blitzes. I like the game that Mike McDonald called. So I'm definitely not saying our defense can't step up and do enough to win the game. I think we still have a great shot to beat the Bengals this week, but I am nervous that they're going to be able to pass the ball pretty easily. I'm sure we're going to see some more Rock Ya-Sin. Harbaugh said in his press conference that they're just easing him in. That's why he didn't play a lot. So, but I did like what I saw from Ronald Darby. I mean, I'm shocked that Ronald Darby played as well as he did coming off that ACL and just being an older vet. But maybe that experience is what's helping him so much. You know what I mean? He's staying patient and doing his job well. This is where we're at with the injuries. I just wanted to update you guys and give my thoughts a little bit. It's definitely not season over or anything, but the Marcus Williams, that loss stings, man. That stings. We're just not even able to see Marcus Williams play for us, you know? We gave him a huge deal. We got some heavy hitter contracts that aren't playing football, you know what I mean? Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Williams, Mark Andrews. Hopefully Mark Andrews is back this week. I'm going to guess that Mark Andrews is coming back this week. It seemed like he was close last week. He was practicing. He just, wasn't quite there. But I'm going to bet that Mark Andrews is back this week. That should help the offense tremendously. As long as the line can hold up, I think our offense can get moving and score some points. The running back room is going to be running back by committee. You're going to have Gus Edwards, Justice Hill. We're pulling Melvin Gordon up. And then Keaton Mitchell will come back in week 5. So I think we can manage our running back room. I don't, losing J.K. hurts bad. I mean, J.K.'s a dynamic, playmaking, different type of running back than anyone else we have. He brings a special set of skills and awareness. But I think we can still have a strong run game. I don't think that decimates our run game. And the good news is that the offensive linemen, Ronnie Stanley and Tyler Linderbaum, will come back. It's going to be a few weeks, so we're just going to have to dog it out through this Bengals game. And we're going to have to rely on the offense a little bit more this year than we're used to, and I think that's okay. You know what I mean? I think we got the guys to do it. Now, we got to stay healthy. We can't have this injury streak continue. You know what I mean? And we've been saying that as we were pretty healthy entering the season. We're like, all right, we got a real shot at a Super Bowl if we could just stay healthy. And then we get decimated week 1. And I'm like, all right, we may be able to survive this, but we can't afford many more key injuries. That's a fact. So hopefully we can stay healthy. John Harbaugh was talking about the NFL going to have to do some kind of adjustments to the preseason and have a longer ramp-up period for guys. I'm sure the players don't want to hear that, but there needs to be a different type of ramp-up period because a lot of key players aren't playing in the preseason, and they're therefore not getting enough work. So when they get out in the game, they're having a lot of soft tissue injuries and knee injuries and ankles, and it's just not ideal. But if you work them too hard and you play them too much, you risk them getting injured before the season even starts. So there needs to be a smarter ramp-up period, and I haven't spent enough time to really think about exactly what that ramp-up period looks like or what that schedule would look like. If you guys have any ideas, I'd love to talk about that in the comments. I'm going to spend some time to think about it. I might make a video on that just specifically. I think that's an interesting topic. Like, where can the NFL go to lessen the injuries? What kind of ramp-up period is smarter through the offseason and preseason to be able to get these guys ready to play week 1 and in shape for week 1 and lessen the injury blow, because there's a lot of injuries happening and there's a lot of guys not playing in the preseason. It's an interesting topic. I'm not exactly sure of the answer. If I had the exact plan that would work and lessen injuries in the NFL, I'd be a pretty rich man. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today, guys. I'll hop back on if anything else comes out, but we're going to have to dog it out. We got some guys out for sure, and it's going to be a battle this season. I can already see that we're going to have to fight the injury bug a little bit again, and we got some key guys missing, but it doesn't mean that we can't have success this year. I still think we can win a lot of games as long as the core stays intact, as long as we have Lamar and a lot of these weapons. I think that we can still score enough points to get these dubs, and our defense can hold the fort down. I still have high hopes for this team. It is not over by any means. It just sucks. You know what I mean? It hurts. And especially after these last few years, you know what I mean? If we were completely healthy for 2 or 3 seasons and we just weren't getting it done, I could live with that. That makes sense to me. But the fact that we have put together an incredible roster and we have such a good team, and then we just can't stay on the field, that's painful. That's something that's just tough to deal with mentally. And I'm sure you guys feel the same way. But we'll get through it. We're here all season regardless. I don't care if everybody goes down. I'm here supporting. I'm here watching the games. And I appreciate you guys being here supporting the channel. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys next time.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.